Very good evening to parents of class 1 to 5. Dear parents, 26th October 2021 is a day that is long awaited by all students and parents for the comeback of students to offline school after 1.5 years. So welcome back in advance. So it will be my pleasure to share with you the details of reopening of offline school from 26th October. So let me start with what is important as well as interesting. As you all may be aware, the Karnataka government, being very much interested in the education of students, has given permission to reopen school offline from 26th October, but at 50% capacity. So I can understand that all of you have been wondering, how can the school operate with 50% capacity if most of the students want to come offline? So to answer your question, the entire section, each section would be divided into two halves. Now, these halves would be called as set 1 and set 2. One half of the section of students would be called as set 1 and the other half of the students set 2. Now that we have two sets of students, set 1 students would be attending school on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that is the odd days, and set 2 students would be attending school on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So set 1 would be working offline, that is coming to school to the campus on odd days, and set 2 on even days. In other words, students would be attending offline school on alternate days. So you may be wondering what would happen on the other day. Nothing to worry. While the set 1 students would attend the classes in campus, set 2 would attend classes from home online. So none of the students would be missing any classes, and there would be no classes held differently for different kinds of students. This is how it is planned. So that is about the division of students. Saturday would continue to be a half day, and the second and fourth Saturdays, as promised to you all, would continue to be holidays for students. We would just like you to keep in mind one very important detail. Now, all this planning of students attending on odd days, even days, has got into a lot of details. There are many criteria involved in planning these things. Most importantly, the transportation route. Now, planning a different transportation route for each set of student is a very complex matter. So we expect parents to be very cooperative and understanding and not ask for change of timings or dates or sets or anything for that matter, because it is not possible. Transportation is involved here, so any kind of change would not be possible. So request you all not to make requests to us saying, I would like my child to attend on Tuesday, Thursday, or I would like my child to attend on Monday, Friday. So we would be handling things in the same way for all students, irrespective of which set they are in. So we request you all to cooperate, and we are sure you will. So moving on to the next point. I'm sure all parents are wondering, so what is the school timing? The school timing for the students would be 8:30 to 3:30. Yes, full day school. It would be full day, but if you remember, children are attending or coming to the campus only on alternate days, and parents of students attending only online need not worry that screen time would be too much. Why? Because we would be making the co-curricular and PT classes optional. To reduce the screen time of students who are attending online, we would be making the PT and co-curricular classes optional. If students don't want to attend those classes, they can send a leave note saying that they would be not attending that period. Okay, that is about the screen time. Now the same would be reflecting in the timetable that would be sent to you on Monday. So for the timetable, you need to wait till Monday. Moving on to the next time, what would the students wear? Obviously, the uniform. Dear parents, we have placed relaxation on wearing of uniform all these days. Students wore color dress or different kind of uniforms and even similar clothes that look like the uniform, but henceforth we need to bring in discipline in uniformity. Students would be coming to school offline, right? So they all need to wear the same clothes and look neat and presentable. So students need to dress in full uniform. They need to wear the grey uniform and come to school with school shoes. So you would be wondering about the uniform arrangement, that is the uniform distribution. Yes, we would be distributing uniforms on PTM day. Students who don't have uniforms can purchase the school uniform and shoes on PTM day. If you remember, the PTM is tomorrow, 23rd October, Saturday. So you can come to the school campus, and when you come to the school campus, you can purchase the uniform and the shoes in the auditorium upstairs. Now we will be having various vendors selling the uniform and the shoes and the socks, etc. So we request you to bring cash because they accept only cash. I can understand that it would be a bit of inconvenience to you, but we value parents' time. We don't want parents to stand in queues, run around for change. So we request you to bring exact change and do your purchases. So how can you bring exact change? How will you know the cost? We have sent a note today in Campus Care where the costs of the uniform is reflecting very clearly. So you can go through the note and see and decide what you want to purchase, how much it costs, and bring the correct change so that you can purchase the uniform. Now we understand that the children must have grown now. The same size won't fit, obviously. So you need to bring your child to PTM and then you need to check their sizes. Now we need to keep COVID protocols in mind while checking the sizes, right? So that's the reason we are not allowing trials of uniform. The uniform can be held against the shoulder or the waist of the child for checking of sizes. That's how you can check the size. Another way of doing it is you can bring a measurement dress from home, especially if the child is not accompanying you. You can bring a measurement dress from home, check the size of the uniform and then buy it. So this is how uniform distribution and checking of size would happen tomorrow on the PTM day. That's about the uniform. Moving on to the next point, very important, transportation. Students need to reach school on time, be here on time, leave on time to reach home on time, right? So parents who have opted for school transportation can make the payment before 4 p.m. tomorrow, that is 23rd October, through Campus Care app, where through the fee payment icon. And please be aware that school buses will commute with 100% capacity. Their students would all be sitting together. School buses would run with 100% capacity, and the fee defined there is for the remaining months of the academic year. One more thing that we want parents to know about the uniform is that the choice of buying the uniform is completely left to the parents. It is not mandatory. If students have uniform that yet fit them and that is yet presentable, it is not faded, look neat and presentable, students can continue wearing what they have. But if the uniform is faded or small or too tight or uncomfortable for the child, it's advisable to buy a new set or 2 new sets based on the requirement of the children and do the needful. Now, when students come to school, class 2 students and class 3 students and class 4 students and class 5 students have locker facility. But now, keeping COVID protocol and safety measures in mind, students would not be using lockers at present. Till all the COVID pandemic comes down, students would not be using lockers. They would bring all their things in the bag and take it back in their bags. So the things that are required by the teachers would be retained by the teachers here and the rest would be sent back. This is about the use of lockers by students of class 2 to 5. First standard students won't know how to operate lockers, so they don't have locker system. How about the food? Yes, our children have got used to having food quite often at home. We understand that maybe during every break they would be having food at home, but that would not be allowed now. As you all know, we have a routine in place in school. That is, we have a short break, we have a lunch break. That is the time students would be allowed to have their food. So students need to get snacks box for snacks break, a lunch box for lunch break, drinking water, and also a personal sanitizer for their own safety measures. That's about the food. And many parents have asked us questions about what are the measures taken for COVID protocol. So to answer your questions, as you all know, students would wear masks at all times during the school hours. And as you all know, and we have mentioned it earlier too, all the teachers have been vaccinated twice. The staff members, the ayahs, the drivers, all of them have been vaccinated twice, and all of them know how to follow the SOPs, that is the standard operating procedures, to take care of COVID safety measures. And as you all know and have seen during PTMs, we have well ventilated and spacious classrooms, so there's no congestion. There would be sufficient social distance maintained between the students. In other words, the entire class would have around 10 to 12 students maximum. So, and we have almost 13 benches in each class. So there would be one child sitting on each bench, or maybe 2 children at the max in each bench. And students would keep their lunch bags and their school bags with them. So no one else would be touching it. One more thing you need to be aware of is that students would not be sharing food with each other. Children would be having their own food after washing their hands. And again, they would wash their hands after their lunch. We have sufficient sub-staff to take care of the hygiene of school children during lunch break and during other hours of the school. And sub-staff are there to take care of toilet needs of students and toilet hygiene of students. And when students come to school, we would be giving them sufficient instructions on safety measures, how it needs to be followed, what needs to be done. We would be monitoring them, reminding them again and again about it. So you don't need to worry about it at all. And we have a well-equipped wellness room. Most of you would have seen it when you come here for PTM. We have a trained personnel for this wellness room to take care of any needs of children if children fall down or get hurt. And we have a bubble system in concept. Since the time the COVID started, we have a bubble system in concept. Students of one section would not be allowed to mingle with students of another section, so that there is less mingling physically of students. We would be taking care of that. And another thing is, if students are not well, in other words, if they have cold, fever, cough, they would be asked to go home. Parents would be requested to come and take their children home. So we would be intimating parents immediately if we notice any child falling ill. So these are the measures that we would be taking for safety of students. And so I think I have covered all the points and all the doubts are cleared that parents had so far. So this is the live telecast, and if you have any other question, you can send it through chat and we would be answering your questions. You can send your queries or concerns through Campus Care too. We would reply to it. So let's make this world a safer place and a happier place for our students. All of us, the teachers, the staff, the members are eagerly waiting for them. And as a team with parents, let's make offline schooling of students a success. Thank you.